Good afternoon, Chatelet, everyone. Today I want to talk about cryptography, security, internet hacking, and why you're not safe no matter what you do, especially with your passwords. Almost nobody knows this. I've been at it for many years, and I've implored all the big corporations to start thinking about password security the right way, but they insist on doing it the wrong way because it sounds good to their customers. And I'm going to tell you what's wrong with it. Now, here on my site, which everybody knows, I've got this, come back, go back, and go to this crypto. Okay, I make a crypto program, don't sell it, just offer it for free, and it's been through several plain text challenges, other challenges, and it survived. So I want to talk about the principles of this and how it relates to your password security on the internet and all that sort of thing, and why you're not safe and why nobody's going to do anything about it. So I'm going to sit this down up here. See if I can park this where I can just use it as a prop. And is that going to work? Yeah, there we go. A prop. Okay. The deal is here, and pay close attention. Let's say that you go to put a password in on some site, Google or somebody else, and they tell you, which they always do, you need to have mixed case, uppercase and lowercase, and then you need to have some punctuation in there, like, an asterisk or exclamation mark or some of those things, and why that's not safe. Cryptography is only safe when the bits of your password, as they scramble them with their crypto program that's built into the website, only when the bits are scattered completely randomly so that nobody can possibly recover them. Well, of course, in the real world, that isn't feasible because they have to be recoverable, because the internet site has to compare what you type in as your password to the stored password, and if they agree, then they let you in. If they don't agree, then they don't let you in. So cryptography generally has to be two-way. In other words, you encrypt something and send it out, whatever, and then somebody else has to recover it, somebody who's authorized to do so. And the problem is that guys like Adi Shamir, who were one of the founders of RSA, and I've talked to him and the other guy, Ron Rivas, they broke the U.S.'s most secure 4,000-bit cryptography with a laptop and a microphone. A laptop computer and a microphone. Yep, that's what they did. So that's why this stuff's unsafe, because they give you insecure methods of encrypting, and then they also don't have good implementations. Let me give you a very simple example right off. If they tell you that for your password you can use all the uppercase letters A to Z, all the lowercase letters A to Z, and the numbers 0 to 9, just for example, that's 62 characters altogether, but you can use them randomly any way you want. Well, then you can make a truly random password out of that 62 character set. But they don't let you do that. They tell you have to choose an uppercase and lowercase, and sometimes a punctuation character. So they don't let you type in your selection fully randomly. There's always that little catch that you have to choose things that you might not want to choose. And that's how the German Enigma machine was cracked in World War II, because the German Enigma machine encrypted all the characters that people typed onto the machine, except they had one little exception, and that was when the machine typed a character, when the operator typed a character, the machine could not print the same exact character. It had to print a different character. And that's a flaw, because that's not random. And that's how they broke it. And I'll leave all the complications of how that's done through the advanced programming. But trust me, it's true. Whenever anybody tells you you can't do a particular thing, like use whatever characters you want out of the character set, then they're lying to you and they're crippling your security. It has to be completely random. The only way it can be completely random is they give you the characters and tell you to use them however you want. So the thing is, with cryptography, the way that I've done it is I can't get around the fact that the machine has to provide some pseudo randomness in it, and because otherwise you're just using something like a one-time pad, and that's not the best way to go. So point is that the pseudo-randomness that I use is no different than a playing card deck. Like you get 52 cards, and as long as the cards are shuffled properly, it doesn't matter that you only have 52 cards instead of 1,000,000 cards or 1,000,000,000 cards or 1,000,000,000 times 1,000,000,000 cards. It doesn't matter. As long as they're shuffled randomly each time, then the odds spread everything out and everything's fine. So in cryptography, what I do is I use like that card deck, and my prop just shut off. And what happens there is that I use multiple layers of shuffling, like card shuffling. And with enough layers, 52 in one layer, 52 in another layer, eventually you get to where you've got so many trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions times trillions possibilities that it can't be cracked. And then other people come along, these experts, and they tell you bit shuffling is no good because it can easily be broken, and they tell you why, or maybe sometimes they don't tell you why. Well, it's just a matter of implementation. If you put some what do they call, XOR operations in between, and of course then that scrambles it up even more, and so they can't figure out where your bit shuffling occurs. And the bottom line in this is conventional crypto. I think they do all their layers or a single layer with the XOR operation, which you can find out XOR. Just look it up on the internet. And but if you make 10 layers of XOR operations, of encryption, and everything else, all those layers can be decrypted in any order that you want, and so it's not that secure. In other words, you can do them in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can decrypt them in 5, 7, 9, 6, 4, 3, 2, or whatever, and it comes out the same. But in bit shuffling, of course, all the layers have to be decrypted in the exact reverse order of how they were encrypted. And when you put the XOR layers in between to confuse these operations so people can't do a simple reshuffle to get back where they were, then your security becomes very, very, very secure. But so anyway, this lecture is about cryptography and internet security and all that, and you don't need to know all the details, but what you do need to know is that when somebody tells you, here's the characters you can choose legally for your encryption, but you have to choose the way we want, like some uppercase, lowercase, plus this other thing, it is not secure. Trust me, it's not random. It's only random when they give you the character set and they tell you pick anything you want. So you could have all lowercase if you want, and trust me, that's more secure than when they force you to mix your case. Mixing the case looks good. It appeals to simple-minded people who don't know about cryptography and other things, and so all these major corporations are doing it, and trust me, I've been to them. They don't give a damn about your security. They really don't. Otherwise, they'd at least discuss this stuff. So there you go. That's my little briefer on security, how it's done in crypto, and it ain't being done by anybody big. And all these great crypto programs out there, never minding their implementations of telling you have to choose whatever, even if they let you choose randomly, you still got to deal with the fact that everything they do is pseudo-random, and I prefer a different approach. And it's not just the internal approach of using the card deck inside, but it's a matter of the user choosing a whole bunch of different inputs is part of my scheme. So it's all online there, and read it and enjoy, and try to think of real security, and that's all I got.